to go with draft number 2. It's too bad that we made that big mistake in the last one. We had an interesting deck. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, Time Walk. Time Walk's pretty great. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else here. Glenlunger Archmage is very powerful, but probably not that useful. None of the fetch lands are even that interesting, or dual lands, rather. Yeah, so I mean, like, Temple of Malice maybe, because you tend to be black-red, but you don't tend to be white, so I don't really like Temple Garden. Glenlunger Archmage would be nice to wheel, but it's probably not going to happen. I mean, basically it's just like a double counter spell in cube, just for 2 mana. Like, you get to counter 2 spells for 2 mana over multiple turns. It's pretty insane. Alright, now we've got Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage is pretty great, especially with Time Walk. Yeah, pretty sure that's what we're taking. There's Baleful Strix, but, I mean, 2 colors, there's no reason to do that. We'll just take Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, Baleful Strix is fine. Maybe I'll wheel it too. A lot of times people won't take the black-blue card right away. Alright, and Snapcaster Time Walk, good start. We have Mystical Tutor. Ooh, that'll find the Time Walk. Trinket Mage is good because there's a lot of 1-cost artifacts in the cube. But, I mean, I think the Mystical Tutor is just better when we already have the Time Walk here. We could take Bayou. Some fixing would be good. It just makes sense to take Mystical Tutor. So yeah, now we already have like Mystical Tutor to get Time Walk, Snapcaster Mage to buy back either one of them. This is a pretty nice place to start at, I think. It doesn't even have the start for like a Storm deck though. It can kind of be anything really. This deck is just a good start, period. Time Walk, Mystical Tutor, and Snapcaster Mage all go very well together, and you can put them into any blue deck basically. Somebody being a little bit slow here. Let's see what we get. Ooh, Imperial Seal. Scroll Rack is kind of cool because you can dig really deep to find the cards that you need. But I mean, if you're looking for a card that you absolutely have to get off of Scroll Rack, Imperial Seal does the exact same thing anyways. And Fire Ice is another option on the wheel maybe. Yeah, I mean, Imperial Seal just finds exactly what Scroll Rack would be digging down to. So, Sylvan Caryatid, I guess, could be something that we do. It's nice to have, like, color fixing and ramp, but we don't really need the green anyways. Now we have Sneak Attack, Marsh Flats, Mana Confluence. Sneak Attack is interesting. It's one of those alternate like win conditions that you can have. We can get a couple of big creatures and play mostly Storm with a little bit of Sneak Attack. I think I like the Mana Fixing though. I'll just grab it. I need to take Mana Fixing a little bit higher this time. Ooh, Volcanic Island. That's sweet. And Ancient Tomb. Oh man. Ancient Tomb's really strong. I think that people really underestimate how good Ancient Tomb is. It's been fantastic in Cube. I think that we want the Volcanic Island. It doesn't get fetched by Marsh Flats, but it's still nice fixing, and we already have a lot of blue. We're probably going to be playing some red. And we might even get like a red fetch land that can get us the blue mana then. Yeah, I think that it makes sense. I mean, I like Ancient Tomb a lot for the ramp, but I think fixing our colored mana is more important. And now we have Empty the Warrens. Okay, yeah, I think that we need to grab that. I'm glad that we picked Volcanic Island now. Empty the Warrens is good because we need some kind of payload for the deck. It's not the best payload, but you've got to make sure that you actually have a win condition in your Storm deck before you end up, not having anything. It's really easy to pass Empty the Warrens because you're like, we can just get like a Brain Freeze or we can get a Tendrils or something. But yeah, it's way better to do that. Mystical Tutor gets Empty the Warrens too, obviously, so that's nice. All of this works really well together. I mean, Mystical and Imperial Seal both find the Empty the Warrens. Snapcaster Mage can rebuy either Empty or Time Walk. Pretty good start. I'd like to get some like rituals or fast mana here. Let's see what we can get. Maybe a draw 7 would be good. Somebody's low. Nobody's connected. Oh, they're like 2 picks behind me though. That's what's happening. And we've got, ooh, well, I did ask for a ritual. There's Seething Song. Yeah, there's Disfigure against like aggro decks. Wandering Fumarole is fine, I guess, but yeah, we'll just take Seething Song here. I'd much rather have a ritual at this point. Wandering Fumarole is not that great because there's no real advantage to having it come into play tap. Like, it's not like a Scryland or anything like that, and having it come into play tap sucks. Happy that we got this Imperial Seal. I wonder how much black we can play, though. I mean, right now we're just blue-red, so Imperial Seal is looking a little bit out of place. It's a good card, though. Let's see if we can get some fixing for it. So here we'll grab Temple of Malice. Good fixing. Brain Maggot's good against us. We're just going to take Seasons Past, though. Mode is a card that is actually kind of cool for us, but I don't think we can play it. Like, double White Splash seems pretty tough. Bayou. Char, Delver. Don't think I'd ever care about Delver. Bayou seems okay, though. And the Marsh Flats will then fetch the green. Let's put the Seasons Pass back in, just in case. Luckless Bushwhacker can work with Empty the Warrens, so I can grab that. I don't think I'm, like, excited to play it that way, but we'll see. Thinking the Ice is another way to win the game, too. Avalanche Riders, Exquisite Firecraft. I'm worried about somebody avalanching us. I don't want to play against that. Our mana base might end up being shaky, and killing our lands is pretty devastating. Alright, so if I can ask for anything, I think I want Black Lotus. Mox Sapphire will have to do. Definitely take... Ooh. Oh, no. Mox Sapphire, Library of Alexandria. That is tough. Library of Alexandria is absurd. Free card draw on a land is just insanely powerful. If you have it in your opening hand, it often ends up being just a free Howling Mine that's only for you, which is really insane. It's just as absurd as that sounds. You have to miss out on a land drop for it, so I guess it's not free. Basically, you just pay one every turn to draw an extra card, but still. Library or Mox? Mox is great too because we do have the Storm, so I mean we want to be able to play Mox on a turn and then use it to up our Storm count, but I think that the extra cards might be better. This is so close. I don't have any card draw really yet either. I'm gonna take the Library. That's tough. Oh, it took Mox Sapphire. Well, I guess that I can't be too upset. Either one of those was gonna be good. I'm sad that I didn't get Library, but it took Mox Sapphire. I think that I needed to double click it so that it totally gets rid of reserving that. I don't know. That's weird. Huh. I have no idea why I did that. Well, that sucks. I guess we just take Time Twister. We have Anticipate, Rakdos Signet that I wouldn't mind getting back. Yeah, I don't really care too much about anything else. Balance would be an interesting splash. If we get it on the wheel, I'll think about it. But Time Twister is a pretty obvious pick here. And now Time Spiral. Anything else beyond Time Spiral? That's just like jumping out at me immediately. Breeding Pool is good, but not nearly as good as Time Spiral. We don't even necessarily want to play green yet. Seasons Past is fine, but I'm not totally convinced on it. Yeah, let's just take Time Spiral. Alright. So, what else are we looking for here? We're looking for... like a Heartbeat of Spring would be really good, so that we can untap now. More fast mana. Just constantly we need mana right now. Rituals are great. Artifacts are good. This one, at least this one's only good. I'd love like a Lion's Eye Diamond. They're obviously not going to get Black Lotus at this point. This is only pack 2. This deck is looking nice. Another Storm Payload would be nice too, obviously. If we could get a Brain Freeze or Tendrils, that would be good. Let's just take Hedron Archive. Yeah, I don't really care about anything else in that pack. Watery Grave is fine here. We don't need... Winter Orb just kills us. I mean, not really, but like if we tap out and play it, which is what you do because you have to pay 2 at least for it, it's just not helping us for sure. But I mean, Watery Grave's fine. Path to Exile is not something we care about. Like, I mean, it would be fine against the creature deck, but it's not that good for us. We're not even playing white right now. Certainly not worth splashing just for that. Venser wouldn't be bad, actually. Venser even lets you, like, double Storm in a turn, because you can, like, empty the Warrens, Venser, bounce the Empty the Warrens back to your hand, play Empty the Warrens. But I think Watery Grave's just enough better. Ooh, Scalding Tarn and Badlands. Excellent. Oh, there's also Young Pyromancer. Young Pyromancer seems like a great way to use all of these spells. We do have Thing in the Ice already that kind of operates the same way, and we do have Empty the Warrens. So we have some payload. It works with all of our stuff, though. I mean, Reckless Bushwhacker actually looks good when we have Young Pyromancer. But I like the fixing. We have 13 playable cards. I think that just getting the fixing's better. Although that does suck. Young Pyro would be good in this deck. Hallowed Fountain, sure. It's possible that we splash white. And even if we don't, Marsh Flats can get Hallowed Fountain, which lets us fix for black, blue, and green so far. Yeah. Oh, Watery Grave already lets it fetch for blue. But it's nice to have another option. And then, like I said, if, you know, it's possible that we can splash a little bit of white. There was the balance that maybe wheels. It shouldn't, but I've seen it wheel before in Vintage Cube, so it's possible. Ooh, Gutter Snipe? Okay, let's take Gutter Snipe. Gutter Snipe is another Storm-ish card. So basically, like, every instant or sorcery, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. So if we can just go off on a turn, this is basically just like a Tendrils that you cast before you Storm, which is kind of weird. Little more fragile because, of course, people can kill it in response at any point, but I think that it's good enough. We don't really care too much about Shardless Agent or Duplicant or whatever. Manic Vandal, Bonfire. I don't think I care about any of these cards. Reclamation Sage is good. Manic Vandal's good. I'll just take the Vandal. Like, those are good cards because they kill off important things. They're just not good in our deck because that's not really what we're going for. We're just trying to ignore most of what the opponent does and not really interact with them and just try and win as quickly as possible. Like, the ways that we want to interact with our opponent are ways like Turnabout, tapping all of our opponent's lands so that we can go off the next turn, or like Thought Seizing them or something, just to make sure that we don't run into, you know, like some kind of counter spell or anything like that that'll stop us from comboing off. But besides that, we don't really care about, like, killing off most of artifacts in play, creatures, things like that don't matter too much. Eidolon is an exception, because Eidolon just straight kills us. I could take Crater's Claws, though, because if I get a mana, like, if I get, like, a Heartbeat of Spring, like a mana doubler, things like Time Spiral can give us insane amounts of mana, and this is just be another way to win. I feel like if Eidolon's wheeling, nobody's playing that deck, so I'm just going to take the Crater's Claws. Not worry about it too much. Alright, Breeding Pool's fine. We're getting a lot of very late fixing, which is great. Mana Gorger Hydra. Another way that, you know, it's like a pseudo payoff card for Storm, because you can play a lot of spells on turn, so you just make like a giant Mana Gorger. I'd say that this is probably the worst, like, extra payoff for Storm. You'd much rather have, like, Young Pyromancer, Gutter Snipe, or something like that. This thing's just too fragile. Because all they have to do is kill it, and then suddenly you lost all of your advantage for that turn. Wow, we wield the Young Pyro. Okay, this deck is looking pretty sweet. We're a very different style of Storm deck. We're basically blue-red, but with, like, Young Pyro, Gutter Snipe. I might actually start playing, like, Syrian Spears and things, just to try and be a little bit more tempo, aggro kind of thing. We've got Black Lotus, which is the slam pick for us, because I was desperately looking for it earlier. There's Ashiok, Jace, Chandra. This pack's pretty sweet. Coalition Relic, Boros Signet, Yogg Bargain, and Heartbeat. Oh man. So we're looking... The cards that we want to wheel are any one of these four. Or Dark Petition. Oh man. I think that what we're going to get back is probably Heartbeat, Yogg Bargain, and Dark Petition. I'm going to guess that those three will come back. Coalition Relic and Boros Signet probably won't. But this is an easy Black Lotus. Now we have Grim Tutor, Tundra, for fixing, I guess. Plateau's actually maybe better than Tundra, just because then Marsh Flats gets red mana as well. It currently already gets blue and black. There's Dig Through Time. I mean, we could take Grim Tutor. I'm just not, like, super excited about it. This is a tough one. And mostly just because I don't really care too much about most of them. I'm wondering about the double black. Like, we actually don't have a lot of black right now in our deck, so our mana could be really good without playing any black. But it's kind of free, maybe? Like, we have a lot of fixing, so it might be easy to play the Grim Tutor. I think I'll just take Grim Tutor. Salt Monolith. And Oath of Druids is kind of a cool alternate payload for a lot of Storm decks. This obviously isn't one of them, because we have things like Young Pyromancer, Thing in the Ice, Gutter Snipe, maybe even Reckless Bushwhacker. Like, those kinds of cards you don't want to hit off of Oath of Druids. Not to mention that we're going to make a lot of tokens, so Oath of Druids, you know, going to just fire off for our opponent. But good to note that it's good in Storm decks, just not necessarily in our Storm deck. Basalt Monolith is great. It'll set us up for a big turn. Take a Signet here. I think... What else do we have? Spell Pierce would be okay. Yeah, there's really nothing else. Sundering Titan is great, but probably not for our deck. Thran Dynamo, Tendrils. There we go. Also, Careful Study. Can we use Tendrils? Probably. I think we probably want to. I wish that I had more ways to make fast mana. We've got Seething Song, we've got Time Spiral, and hopefully that Heartbeat Wheels. I wish I had like a Frantic Search or like Turnabout. Other ways to untap our lands. Maybe some more fast mana with artifacts, but unfortunately I can't take Thran Dynamo over Tendrils, I don't think. Another Signet would be good. Preferably one that has black mana in it. Okay. Ooh, Cabal Ritual. I like that. Verdant Catacombs would be nice. But yeah, definitely Cabal Ritual. Alright, this deck is looking real good. Can we just get like a Wheel of Fortune one time? Because that would be nice. Wheel of Fortune or Turnabout. I might want Turnabout more, honestly. Dark Ritual? I'll take Dark Ritual. That I will make a deal with. Yogg-Will would actually be probably the best pickup for us. It's not, never mind, not probably. Yogg-Will would definitely be the best pickup for us. We have Black Lotus. Anytime you have Black Lotus, Yawgmoth's Will just becomes super insane. Because it's free. And when the more rituals you get, the better it gets. Because it just generates you a million mana. Like, when you have a Yogg-Will in hand and you have, like... If you have Yogg-Will, Dark Ritual, and Cabal Ritual in hand, your hand is just like a million mana. You go Dark Ritual into Cabal, and then you just Yogg-Will, play them both again. Oof. You add a Black Lotus from earlier in the game into your graveyard, you have just absurd amounts of mana. Alright. Hopefully Heartbeat comes back. Quicken. I think I like Quicken. Is It Charm actually is good. Maybe I take Is It Charm. Quicken helps with like Time Twister. It can let us storm off on our opponent's turn. So it definitely has some advantages. Is It Charm's nice because you get to draw. So you can like discard some lands and draw extra cards. Or you can just counter non-creature spells, which is actually kind of nice. I think I'll take Is It Charm for the flexibility that it gives us. Yogg Bargain and Heartbeat. Which one do I care about more? Boros Signet Wield, huh. I think I care more about Heartbeat. I think I'm going to take the Heartbeat. It's just too good with Time Spiral. I don't have that much that untaps the lands, though. Really just the Time Spiral. Yogg Bargain or Heartbeat? I'm actually going to take Bargain. I think that I can just cut green is one of the big things. Okay, so we have Bargain. We have all of the rituals anyways. Like we have Seething Song, Cabal Ritual, Dark Ritual. So we have all of those that'll kind of help. Alright, Plateau is nice pickup because now the Marsh Flats gets red. Rift Bolt, sure. Lightning Strike. Don't think I care about any of these. So what are we going to play? We can play Crater's Claws, I guess, as another card. Sylvan Library. Searing Blaze. Because we need to have at least 24 playable cards, because Mock Sapphire is just a land. Black Lotus kind of counts that direction as well. It's possible that I could play another spell from the sideboard. Like Searing Spear, even. I think we're okay with the way the deck is right now. I want a fair amount of land. I don't have that many like signets to really ramp up into to get to the higher mana costs like Yogg Bargain and stuff. Like, no, if I had 2 or 3 signets here, then I'd probably cut another land and play something else. But I think that 16 is fine. So let's go like this. Add some lands. And now what do we have? Okay, we have 3 blue, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 blue sources. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we actually had 9, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I counted the mocks. 7, 8, 9, right? Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 black. I think we might want to switch those. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red. Yeah. I think we're okay going like this. The reason being, I mean, yeah, we have Orzhov Signet that also helps with the black, but I think that this is better because we do need, like, double black a fair bit. Granted, we do have Dark Ritual and Cabal Ritual. Maybe it's fine the other way. If it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the Orzhov Signet. This way it's 7 without it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8 blue sources. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, this is fine. Alright, I like this. Whoa. This is a hand. We've got to keep this, right? Yeah. I just got to figure out what we're actually doing with it. There's a lot of things that we can do.